Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma again, and we're still working on the Forest Oracle. Obviously I'm filming these all in one day and then gradually getting them uploaded. Now, after our party survives the Quiet Lake, wakes up Evan, whether they fix things at the lake or not, totally up to how you're running it. But let's say they did per the instructions in here, which are terrible. They're going to come to a crossroads. And the trail goes one way towards the mountains, which is where our players should be headed. And then the other old north road goes up and eventually hooks back up with the new wilderness road. And they're going to come to the Wildwood Inn. All right. So just stop for a moment and think about this. There is an inn. You know, they've been doing a lot of stuff. They might be tired for the night. I get it, and hungry. But there is an inn in the middle of the woods. Along two old roads. Grant you, these roads would have been used more before the nice, new, shiny, basically medieval highway was put in over here. But there's an inn. So let's describe our inn. The old wilderness road runs east. Gradually, the path becomes less overgrown. Another old path crosses this one at a clearing and goes roughly north-south. In the clearing stands an inn. The sign painted with a tree and two resting men underneath is titled the Wildwood Inn. If the party chooses to pass by the inn, they may set up camp in the area. Check for wandering monsters during the night. So, the party might be like, Jinkies, this is suspicious. And, just keep trucking. That would be not a bad idea, presumably. Or there might be, Jinkies, this is mysterious. Let's check it out. What do you think, Scooby? So maybe they'll check it out. Now, when I look at the map that they gave us, there's nothing to indicate that they're getting a lot of foot traffic to this place. But you can change things. You're the dungeon master. So let's check out this inn. Inside Wildwood Inn. It is a cool and quiet inside the inn. The owner, a smiling halfling, stands behind a waist-high wooden desk. Well, is it his waist-high or the player's waist-high? Is he on a stool? Could be. I don't know. Because they're not that. They're small. Good day, travelers. Would you like a drink? A meal? A room? All three? He patiently awaits an answer. When the party enters the Wildwood Inn, they meet the proprietor, Bolo Softsoul, halfling, thief, level 2, AC 7, moves 9, hit dice 1, hit point 5, AT 1, damage 1 to 6. He has a sword. And he's got a +3 with bow or sling. Saves at 4 levels higher. Bolo is a cheerful sort, but has a rakish look. He wears a patch over his left eye. That's pretty important when you describe your smiling halfling, I think. Bolo is a retired thief who made enough during his life to buy this remote inn. Interesting. He does a good business here. how, but worries that lawmen will someday come and take him away to jail for his previous exploits. There must be wanted posters for Bolo somewhere. He has turned honest and would not think of stealing from or cheating a guest. Are we sure about that? Rooms cost 1 gold piece a night. The party may occupy any number of the rooms that are available. Rooms 4, 5, and 6 are available. An excellent meal costs 5 silver pieces, and ale is 2 silver pieces per large pitcher. Serves 5. The party may stop now for dinner or settle themselves in their rooms before eating. In each room, 2 beds sit across from the door, their headboards against the outer walls. Between the beds is a shuttered window. Bolo gives them a key from his large ring to lock their doors. In each room, a small chest rests at the foot of the bed. Each has a lock with a key in it for the customers to use. I don't know if you guys know this, but I learned it somewhere in my childhood that hosts used to lock their guests in the bedrooms. So the guests would not get up and maybe slay the host or rob the place blind. Not the other way around. But hey, it's fantasy. So, all right. When the party eats dinner, they hear certain farmers and travelers swapping tales. Oh, it's gotten busy. They hear 2 true tales for every falsehood told. Each hour the party sits in the tavern portion of the inn. They hear 2 of the following stories. Okay, so they get there, it's quiet, but as it gets closer to evening time, people start showing up. Travelers? Going where? Seems like it would be safer to stay on the main road, but maybe not. Maybe it was safer to travel through the woods. But where are they going? Maybe that's an interesting thought. Where are they going on these old roads that are hard to find? Who are these travelers? It sounds like they're a little bit on the shady side. On farmers. Farmers is important. That means the dudes from the village are coming down to this inn. Not the pub in town, but this inn way out here. What is Bolo got going on down here that everybody wants a part of? So, I would put that little idea in your bonnet because there's got to be things going on at this inn that's attracting the farmers. Good gambling? I don't know. After seeing that thing on the possum fighting ring, maybe that's what they got going down there. I don't know. The equivalent of. I have no idea. But there needs to be a reason for these farmers to go all the way out of town. Like, is the town a dry town? Like, there's literally no ale allowed in that town for some reason. And so, and at evening, they're heading out here. And what about their wives? And, I mean, what's going on? I'm just saying. It's in the middle of the woods. A woods with wolves, bears, tigers, hyenas. You see what I'm saying? Why would you be going out there? Obviously, the guys are getting together and going out there, so it's got to be some good medieval redneck fun. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be some good fun happening. All right, so let's look at these rumors. Oh, they give us times, too. So 6 to 7 p.m., Bolo must have a clock. Goblins, orcs are raiding to the west of the Dragon Teeth Mountain, as snows have blocked the mountain passes until spring. That's one rumor. Rumor 2, gypsies have been coming into the area from the southern portion of the land. It is said that they curse people who do not give them some silver. 7 to 8 p.m. The elfin city of Arun, the city of gold, has been sighted to the north by foresters. This is a false. Quiet Lake is a sad place. There is a mysterious woman who is heard crying there. She has never been seen. 8 to 9 p.m. 5. There is a tunnel that goes under the Dragon Teeth Mountains. It is old, but still usable. 6. A dragon lives high on the peaks of Dragon Teeth Mountains and stops travelers from passing through. False. See, 9 to 10. 7. Giant wolves have been seen near the Wild River. 8. The Druids have a forest hideaway to the east of the Wild River. So there's really only 2 false rumors here. So if they hang out and they cruise and they chill and they gamble with the farmers and the other travelers, this is your chance to whip out some fun NPCs. Maybe they can make some coin, maybe they'll lose some coin, but they can get some rumors. Okay, 8. Robbed. Remember Bolo's a thief? Yeah. The tavern closes at 10 p.m. So at 10, he kicks everybody else. Time to go home. Your wife's going to get mad at you. And unless you're spending the night, the rest of you all need to go to bed. Bolo sends all the customers off to their rooms. The lights go out. The tavern becomes still. An attempt to rob the party will occur during the night, whether any of the party is on watch or not. Any party member on watch has no save versus sleep directed at him. Has to save versus sleep directed at him. If he is successful, the spell will be cast on each party member coming on watch until one is successfully put to sleep. At that time, 4 were-rats, AC 6, movement 12, hit dice 3, hit points 16 each. Actually, hit die is 3 plus 1. And let's see, the AT is 1, damage is a 1 to 8 with a sword. They surprise on a 1 to 4. Okay, then see, this surprise here, 1 to 4, that works with these rules that we talked about in the previous episode. Okay. I got a special hit only by silver or +1 or better magic weapon. Enter the room and rob the party because they're magical. The party members should each roll 1d6. Anyone rolling a 1 awakens and knows he is being robbed. He may pretend he is asleep or call for help. If he calls out, the were-rats flee through the secret door located directly across from the hall door. This door stays hidden unless the party sees the rats exit. They may try to locate the door on a normal search. When the party finds the door, they may wish to pursue the were-rats. They may check for the door several times if they wish. If they do not find the door, or if none of the party awakens while the were-rats are robbing them, they find large rat-like tracks on the floor. Bolo will realize they belong to were-rats staying at the inn. Okay, he knows were-rats are at the inn. All right, moving on. The were-rats are armed with swords. A clever gang, not that clever. They have been staying at the inn off and on for 3 months. Well, I guess they're good paying customers. They rent room number 8 and use that as their base of operations. Okay. They have disguised their activities so well, Bolo hasn't discovered the connection between when they stay and when the robberies occur. Bolo is stupid. We're talking Golly Dwarf stupid if this is the case. He's a thief. This was his previous, even if he wasn't very good at it, this was his previous job, you know? He would be like, yeah, this is totally something thieves would do. Oh, God. The were-rats always seem to have plenty of money to pay for their lodging, however. All right. There's a whole section of the were-rats. So let's stop there. Bolo's probably got a bolo for him. He's an ex-thief. He's letting were-rats, who are almost always thieves, stay at his inn, and and people are getting robbed from time to time when they stay, and he cannot add 2 plus 2 to get 4 together. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't think any DM buys it. Just don't know. All right. See, remember I said crime boss? See, I'm beginning to envision Bolo as a crime boss. You know, he was moving up in the ranks. I would bump him up a couple levels myself in his thievery skills. And things got a little hot in the big city. He had money. He bought this place way out in the middle of nowhere, maybe years ago, who knows. And he's got an operation running down here. Maybe that operation is tied to the brigands and to the were-rats. That makes more sense. Like they're a big gang. You know, they're smuggling something. I don't know, they're making moonshine over in the brigand camp. And then, you know, selling it illegally to the orcs or something. Who come up with something, but they are up. They're doing something. And for the inn to have regular travelers, sufficient number of people moving in and out, that the were-rats can occasionally, you know, make some extra change on the side. It just doesn't make sense. And who are these were-rats? So let's check them out. Were-rats. Several furry figures stand upright, light reflecting from their sword blades. The were-rats have secret doors in both the south and east walls of their room, which Bolo would have to not know about, which doesn't make any sense. The treasure trove lies in here, including any treasure stolen from the party. The were-rats attack anyone entering their room. They seek to hold the PCs at the door while one were-rat takes the money and runs. If the one with the money successfully escapes, the others attempt to break off combat and follow him. On a 1d10, they elude the PCs. If the PCs search, they will find the were-rats in a small clearing the next morning. The were-rats' treasure contains 2,500 gold pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, 9 silver armbands, 100 silver pieces each, a potion of healing, 2 doses, and the PC's possessions. If the party recovers the treasure from the were-rats, Bolo will wish to return it to its rightful owners. Sure, Bolo wants to return it to its rightful owners. Bolo offers the party a 25% finder's reward on behalf of those who were robbed. Sure. We got to make sure the establishment has a good name. You won't tell anybody about this. I'm so embarrassed. And I'll play Bolo as not knowing absolutely, but I don't buy this for a second. And sees that the parties to whom the goods belong are notified so they can arrange for transport of the goods. Sure he is. Bolo allows the party to take the potion of healing if they wish. Bolo says, follow the old wilderness road. You can get directions from Bolo. It will lead you safely to the Dragon Teeth Mountains and the Old Dwarf Cave. Through the cave lies the path to the Wild River. Once beyond the Wild River, the Druid's Oracle, the Golden Boughs, lies nearby. Be careful, for the country there grows wilder each year, and vermin of all sorts prey on unwary travelers. Of course, if the party does not tell Bolo where they're going, he will not provide any information. All right. Why are these people there? Bolo's got to be having some kind of operation. Like, like the medieval speakeasy. Burlesque show going on. Now, it never gives us the gender of the were-rats. I would make the were-rats all lovely ladies. I would. The were-rats are the entertainment. That makes incredible sense. They're the ladies. Those are Bolo's girls. They play the music. They tell the poetry. They sing the songs. They do the hey sailor, hey adventurer, hey traveler. That makes a lot more sense. And Bolo knows what's going on. These are some of his buddies. So he's got the Briggards who have their little operation up in the other part of the wood. They're doing whatever they're doing up there, not just living up there, but doing something for him. They travel along here. He's a centralized point. He's probably got some kind of smuggling operation going on. Absolutely. There are all kinds of things you can smuggle. So, because it's off the beaten track now. You want to avoid those taxes of the King's Road? That's what's going on here. Even though we know the Druids are on the other side, it doesn't sound like people are going on pilgrimages. All right? So, they're up there for some nightlife, the gambling, the girls, doing business that's on the shady side that they don't want, the tax man to know about. And Bolo's facilitating all this. He's got a little gambling hall going on. This is the sort of inn it should be. And the were-rats, they're not just customers. They work for him. There's no way. And that 25% is the hush money. Hey, work with me, I'll work with you. Wink, wink, wink. But he's saying it in a different way and gonna get the party. Oh yeah, we totally got all that stuff back to the rightful owners. Sure, Bolo, sure. So, moving along to the next part of the adventure. Bolo's got to be dirty, and he needs to be a higher level thief. Absolutely. He needs to be the head thief in the area. That's the reality of the situation. He needs to have, the illegal still going on. He needs, or whatever the thing is, that the vice is in your world needs to be happening here. Smuggling unicorn horns, whatever it is, all right? It needs to be happening. But it also needs to be happening under this sort of medieval guise of this. You can spend the night here, but it's also a medieval nightclub, basically. That's what he's running. That's why the place starts hopping after a certain hour. It's not just because he's a good cook. So, yeah, he needs staff to cook meals, and you need staff to take care of the animals, because these kind of inns, travelers' inns, they have they're going to have places for the animals and things like that as well. So this is a big operation out in the middle of the woods, is what I'm trying to impress upon you. That's what it should be. So when they come on it, they're going to be like, huh, well, who'd thunk this is out here? But, and when if they go in, and there should be horses and stuff there. So like, okay, there are people here, and donkeys or mules or whatever your beast of burdens are in the game. And you should have some NPCs in there, even though it's quiet when they come in. And one of them at least should be somebody they know they've seen in the village. Even if the guy even if he's the guy that grunts all the time, Bob, he grunts all the time, whenever they say hi to Bob, he just goes, And that's all he does. So when they see Bob and he's like, acknowledges them, and they're like, hey, Bob, So you need to have that so that they know there's a connection with the village. And then when the farmers start coming in who work in the village, and other people who work in the village, the guys, make them all dudes, except for the travelers. The travelers there might be some women amongst them, but make all the farmers who are coming in there be all dudes, so it's like the dude hangout spot, right? The sports bar. and go with that. And like I said, the ladies who work for Bolo, they can be the rare rats. They're just like ninja were rats or something, They're thief were rats. They're his girls. His little rugrats. and they don't have to be halfling either. No, they shouldn't. In fact, they shouldn't be halfling. So that's what I would do. All right, on to the next part. Bye.